just in the first 3 days of the January contract, first or second, third, and fourth, we saw 18 million ounces of silver stood
Just in the first 3 days.
That's all you need to know. I mean, before that, all you need to know is why did 8 Western banks hold the largest concentrated short position of any commodity ever traded on the 1,000+ commodities on COMEX? Why in silver? Why?
In this new video, CEO of Miles Franklin, Andy Schectman, breaks down the latest delivery reports and explains why they don't look normal. He asks the questions most people aren't asking. Who is demanding delivery? Why now? And what does it mean for supply going forward? And what it could signal for silver owners? This isn't noise, it's a clue. Stay with the video to understand what's really happening and why.
You know, one of the things that when I look at the markets, there's so much noise. There's so many distractions. Even this new AI Asian guy that's blowing up all over the place, and some of what he says is fantastic. I take exception with some of it, but an awakening, an understanding, and there is a lot to take in. But to me, I'd boil it down to something that I've focused on pretty much nut and bolts for the last 4 years, and that started with the massive purchasing of gold and silver by the central banks. India, huge silver consumer, but deeper than that, Saudi Arabia taking big interest in silver. China, the number 2 producer in the world, flying all over the world to, in particular, Peru and Mexico, buying pre-refined silver in doré and concentrate, paying double what the West will, shipping it back to China to refine it. The central banks buying tremendous amounts of gold and silver, but removing them not only from the exchanges, removing counterparty risk, standing for delivery, but even taking their metal back from the New York Fed, which always gave access to the COMEX, and from the Bank of England, which gave access to the LBMA, an overriding theme of accumulation and repatriation and removal of counterparty risk by the most well-funded, but more importantly, well-informed traders in the world. Now, if we take that a step further, whoever got to President Trump and said, dude, if we don't bring this back, if we don't get in this game, we're in big trouble. And we've seen that now for 14, 15 straight months. We've seen massive deliveries. In December, there was 64.73 million ounces of silver issued and stopped, which basically means delivered. Doesn't mean left the facility. A good amount did leave the facility, but what it did mean was that there are huge amounts of interest that are bringing in the real metal instead of the continuation of the paper promises. That was the largest ever 1 month delivery of metal in silver into COMEX. And then we look at it here just in the first 3 days of the January contract, first or second, third, and fourth. We saw, what was the number here? First 3 days was a huge amount. Sorry, I don't have it at the tip of my fingers, but I believe it was somewhere in the neighborhood of, by the way, 62,875,000, excuse me, December delivery, 62,875,000 ounces. Now, in the first few days of the January contract, we see, where the hell did that go, Ivan? Somewhere in the neighborhood of 18 million ounces of silver stood
just in the first 3 days.
In the first 3 days. And so, the biggest money in the world, and somewhere in the neighborhood of about 600,000 ounces of gold in the first 3 days. These are billions of dollars of both gold and silver standing for delivery in 3 days, but repetitively every single month since a year ago, November, these people know what's coming, and they're front-running the public, and they're standing for delivery in massive amounts when it used to be exchanging of warrants, not as much metal moving. There's a good deal moving now, and that, to me, you're talking the most well-informed traders in the world see something that the public doesn't. I'll tell you what is interesting. They've raise the margins on COMEX. And that's something that we have seen repetitively, where this is how they knock the wind out of the market. So before they raised it twice in the last couple of weeks, and before they raised it, I think before Christmas, the day after Christmas on the 26th, they raised it by 30%. Um, the amount that you had to have was about $21,000, I think, for a COMEX contract of 5,000 ounces. Put that at $70 or whatever, you're talking what? $350,000 worth of silver is controlled with 21,000 margin. So you buy these traders who go deep on leverage to take advantage of this massive uptrend in silver. Now all of a sudden, a 30% hike, you have to immediately post, instead of 21,000, you have to post about 27,000. And if you don't come up with that money, your position is liquidated. And this is how they knock the wind out of the levered traders. They specifically target the longs. So these longs will have to sell some of their contracts, let's say, if they have a whole bunch of them, to cover the margin on what they can afford to keep that selling. And the rising of the margins begets more selling, and it starts to fall down. It's called shaking the bushes. And the big money, who's been standing for delivery, who's not on margin, stands there and pickpockets all of this silver at subsidized prices. The big banks are the ones that have the book of where all of these hedges are put on, and the entry points and the pain points. And it's kind of like a house in a neighborhood, a gated neighborhood, where the houses are $50 million each. Those people who buy those houses don't care about mortgage rates. But in the areas where everyone's on mortgage, yeah, those house values are going to crumble. It's the same thing here. The big traders, the Tesla, the Samsung, the Sony, the photovoltaic solar panel makers, the sovereign wealth funds, the governments that are standing for delivery are not using margin. They don't care. And by raising the margin and squeezing the market, all of the not, let's just say, not as well funded as they need to be to play in that sandbox, traders get knocked out, shooken out. The price drops, and the big money picks it up. That used to knock the wind out of it, and it would never come back. Kind of like when silver was tamped down when you came on the scene in 2021 in January, February, and they knocked it down. And look how long it took to come back.
Yeah, years.
Right. And that ain't happening anymore. And now they hit it and it comes right back. Not only do you have the arbitrage in China, where they're posting a constant $5-6 spread between New York and China, where they are incentivizing the traders, the big traders, to buy paper in New York and sell physical in China to, in essence, capture that arbitrage. And what we're doing is we're playing right into their hands, and that silver won't come back. So you have that. You have so many things where you have a global rush. Now, so you have at the end of 23, the European Union says silver is a critical mineral. In November of last year, China issues a memo saying, yeah, we're going to prioritize domestic ownership of silver for our own people. Then we come out and say silver is a strategic metal. And then they say, well, we're going to limit exports. Well, this is not about two brothers like the Hunts trying to corner a market. And the interesting thing is, it's the same situation. The Hunt brothers noticed that there were more paper contracts than there were bars behind it. So let's buy the paper, stand for delivery. Well, and the exchange does what the exchange always does. They change the rules or modify the rules, kind of like they're doing here and going right after the longs. Well, that ain't what this is about anymore. This is about some of the biggest, most well-informed money in the world that is making a rush to accumulate a metal that is finally being admitted as strategic, not just industrial, and arguably worth more than the dollars used to purchase it. And what started out very quietly is now beginning to take notice. And the funny thing about this, Ivan, with all of the performance of silver blowing everything away, where the hell is the mainstream media? Where is the integrity of anyone in the mainstream? Not only talking about what silver has done, but how about the fact that are seeing billions upon billions upon billions upon billions upon billions coming into COMEX every single month. And where the hell are these idiots like Jim Cramer or any of them on CNBC or Fox saying, something's going on COMEX, because whoever is doing this to the tune of billions of dollars, well, that's not your little trader. These are the most sophisticated people in the world who don't do this for the heck of it, right? I'd like to be a little bit more profane, but I won't, because I just want the point to get across here that that's all you need to know. I mean, before that, all you need to know is, why did 8 Western banks hold the largest concentrated short position of any commodity ever traded on the 1,000+ commodities on COMEX? Why in silver? Why?
Right.
And that has to do perhaps with the military industrial complex. And that's another discussion for another time. But when you see the biggest traders in the world doing these things, seeing what they do and getting zero attention by the mainstream, you should be very keenly interested in exactly what they're doing, because it's front running, and either you see it and choose to trust it, or you don't. And I think that's exactly what is happening right now. I think it tells you that we have not seen the end of this bull market for a long time, with the amount of money coming in physical metal into the COMEX.
If this video gave you a clearer picture of what's really happening in silver, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell. It truly helps keep this information alive. Thank you for spending your time here. In times like these, understanding matters. Stay aware, stay prepared, and I'll see you in the next update.